Shalom everyone, Joshua here. And on today's mission, I have a 2007 Nissan Xterra, and the horn ain't honking. So now, I'm going to run a quick test on this using the battery to see if it's the horn or possibly the clock spring. Let's find out. It is definitely not the horn. So there you go. That's how you can quickly test a horn on any automotive application. And what this alludes to is the fact that the clock spring has worn out in the steering wheel. So gonna have to get that replaced, but for now, gonna run a temporary button on the dashboard to get this thing through state inspection. So I'll show you how I do that here directly. Stay tuned. Scope it out, peeps. A little pro tip for y'all. So I'm installing a temporary horn button in this Nissan Xterra until the owner can afford to get a clock spring, and I'll replace that down the road. But anyway, if you are installing a push button type switch that requires some force, be mindful if you're using one of the blank spaces on the dash panel. In this case, these come out from the back side as such, but if you are installing a push button, it is wise to install some kind of additional fasteners to ensure that this just doesn't push out, because all that holds it in there are these little plastic tabs. And this is another reason why I actually save screws when I'm disassembling printers, computers, power supply units and stuff, because I think that one specifically, or should I say, those specifically came out of a power supply unit, but that'll keep it from pushing out of its holder. And then this will mount back in there. And in this particular case, this is all housed behind the dash. So subsequently, when it's reinstalled, you'll never see them. All right, there you go. Pro tip, make sure you have something to keep that panel from pushing out. All right, peeps, horn button installed. Scope it out. I will start here at the power end. 15 amp fusible link. The horn system on this Nissan Xterra has a 15 amp fuse, so I just went ahead, used a little mini fuse job there. Of course, tied in right there. That tucks down along the side of the battery there. These wires will, or this wire will eventually get zip tied up to the bottom side of that, so it'll be out of sight, out of mind. The power wire runs up under the core support, directed away from the radiator, so there's no potential for it to, rub up against that, potentially breaking the insulation or burning the insulation. And then it comes out over here, which you'll be unable to see. Well, there you go. So down up under there, boom. Of course, that's the power wire, and that goes doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Let's see, can you see anything down there? Just a couple wires down there, blah blah blah. The horn is right here. I had to devise my own clips to slide on the prongs for the horn down there at the connection, and I just utilized some female spade connectors, the ultra small ones, and just kind of finagled them. It works. It's nice and tight, and they're even color coordinated. Anyway, the wiring. Oh, here. Let me see if I can get that in there. The ground is connected to a ground. Didn't have to go crazy, peeps. It's right there. So I just found a chassis ground. Boom. Ground wire. It's pretty short. Anyway, the other red wire for the horn that connects there. Booga booga booga. That all runs down under here. And then it accesses the firewall. Oh, come on, man. Silly. Anyway, it goes through the rubber grommet where the main harness goes through firewall. Scope it out. There's the end product. Boop. Horn. Riddle solved. So that'll keep these folk going until like I said earlier in the video, they can afford a clock spring and get that replaced. So that's how you can quickly run a horn switch to the factory existing horn and just get you a little beep beep toot toot. Alright peeps, take skills, help your family, friends, neighbors, strangers solve their problems. It's called Love Thy Neighbors. I'm out of here. Shalom.